So with these two quads, they are identical as far as I can see, apart from the change of the gimbal. And I've done a full review on the Q393, and I'll put a link down in description, so I'm not going to repeat myself all over that, because literally they are exactly the same. What they have done is change the LEDs on this one, and they've actually made it, they've lit the actual legs down on it. On this one they haven't. All they did was have these top ones here, so there was no that's the only change I can actually physically see. The motors look the same, bodywork, everything's the same, transmitters are identical, so all the same. The difference is this one actually has a 2-axis gimbal, and that was why I was really interested in getting it for the review. And as you can see, hopefully there, it's working away quite happily. As you notice, it won't come with this, and it won't come with this. And the reason I've instantly changed the anti-vibration system on it is because if you fly it straight like I did originally, you get footage like this. And as you can see, it's hello jello. It's absolutely ridiculous. So by putting a little bit of extra anti-vibration in it, and I've done a video on how to do that, I'll pop that in down the bottom there for you as well. You can get rid of virtually all the jello, or you can play around with it and you would get rid of it completely. You could easily do that. So the other thing I've done is you get prop flicker with it, and prop flicker, if you're not familiar with it, is actually this is what happens here. And as you can see, that can really just spoil your video, just having that flickering. And basically it's the sun coming through here and throwing a shadow across the lens. You put a little bit of rubber around it, or a little bit of plastic, or whatever you've got, and I'll show you how to do this in at the end of the video. You can actually eliminate that virtually. You can still get obscure angles of sun that are going to come here and either give you lens flare or the prop flicker, but it eliminates it in most things. So I'm not going to run through all the functions and everything again, because they are all exactly the same. What I'm going to do is pop this up for a flight, see what the footage is like, and then give you my summary at the end. Pop the power on the quad or the transmitter, it really doesn't matter. Because I flick the transmitter on, we get a slow pulse off the actual lights here, and then it's simply up and down on the throttle. And it's a mode 2 throttle, by the way, as I explained fully in the other one. And then the LEDs stop flashing and we're bound. And actually that gimbal comes up really quick. I quite like it. It comes to life really quick. Some of them can take, it seems like, forever to actually come up. This is a 2-axis gimbal, so when we actually roll the quad, you can see the gimbals actually staying level. If we pitch the quad forward and backwards, it stays level as well. And a 3-axis gimbal, which this isn't, as I say, it's only a 2-axis gimbal, but a 3-axis gimbal also dampens it. As you rotate or yaw the quad, it comes around much slower than the actual quad is coming, so it actually gives you silky smooth footage. But I've had silky smooth footage off a 2-axis gimbal as well. Nothing wrong with them. You can get some great stuff off them, no problem at all. So I slightly disagree with this. Their setup here, using a 3-point anti-vibration system, doesn't seem to work. All the ones I know that work really well have 4, so I think that's why I've had to add all this actual stuff. And like I say, there's a video showing what I've actually done here, so you can give it a go if you like, if this is your sort of thing. The other extra thing this does is you can tilt the camera up and down on the gimbal, so you can actually just rotate it there, which is rather good. And you've got your 2 buttons here that actually do that. So, and it can't go fast or slow. It just does one speed. That's once you press the button, it starts to come down. You can stop it wherever you like, but that's it. If you had the FPV one, then this would be excellent, because you would actually be seeing how much you're going to tilt up and down, sort of thing. But I've flown line of sight and got loads of footage that I've been quite happy with. So it's just getting used to it really, and enjoying the experience, to be perfectly honest. One thing I'm really not overly keen about is there's no way on the transmitter here of telling me that the camera is actually filming. The only way I can tell is there's a little green LED in there that goes, I don't even think the camera will pick it up, and what I have to do is hold down the button here. If you want to take a still, you just press it once, but I'm going to pop it into video, so I'm going to pop that on. I can't see it now, there it is. Hold that down, and then it goes beep, and then it's slowly flashing in there, but honestly I can't even see it with the naked eye, so I'm not sure the camera will pick it up. And there's no other warning of what's going on, sort of thing. So it's yeah, I don't know. I think they should have just had that on the transmitter, because this transmitter has loads of information it gets from the quad, so I think they've missed the trick there. Right, so let's just take it out and give it a flight and just see how we get on. Got auto takeoff and auto landing on this one as well. So, and it goes up about 1.5 meters, so sort of 1.5 meters, 2 meters, I suppose that was from where we were. And then, like I say, you'll see how this gimbals are working. As you can see there, though the quad is rolling, the gimbal's staying level. And then if I come to the side, we pitch back and forwards. The altitude holds on this model as well. You can see there, you can see the camera's actually staying level. So it does give you sort of quite nice, should give you nice footage, certainly. And once you've got rid of the jello, it makes it so much better. So I tend to fly sort of slow and smooth for my videos. Some people like it fast and manic. It's entirely up to you. It just depends what you're filming, I always think. This is where sort of FPV comes in really useful. But like I say, I've done loads of footage without FPV and never had a problem with it. And it's keeping it smooth, I always sort of think. Well, that seems to work really nicely. Let's hope we get good footage from it. It's quite a nice flying quad. It's a big old presence in the sky, I must admit. But it's quite nice. And it's got altitude hold, as you can fully see, but it doesn't have GPS on it, so it's not going to hold a position. But it's a nice calm day today, so that shouldn't be a problem. Like I say, really nice. This is in low rates. You pop it up into high rates, and then that will give us a really sort of fast, ridiculously fast for video, I always sort of think. But it depends, if you're really up at a big height. Oh, there we go, there's a fast pass then. As you can see, that gimbal's still working away quite nicely. So we'll take it forward, we'll point the gimbal down, the camera down, sorry, there we go. There you get your aerial shot from up there. The LEDs are gorgeous on this thing, they're really nice. Let's see if it'll point back up. Yeah, I can actually see it. I'm just about to see the shadow of it. There we go. Then we do a quick pirouette. Even though it's going to drift off. A little bit of wind out there, I expect. Oh no, I think it's just having a little drift. I don't think that's a trim issue. I think it's just choosing where it wants to go. And then because we're altitude hold, even though I've pulled the throttle right off, you don't get a drop out of the sky. You can never kill the motors, so it keeps it reasonably smooth. You probably get a little bit of prop wash, which will give you quite a judder. If we've got rid of that with the anti-jello stuff, then we've done really well. Yeah, it's a nice flyer. And this is still in high rate, so you can fly it nice and slow if you want, even in high rate. It's not a problem. Does help if you know your garden though, I must admit, if you're flying line of sight and you go out of sight like I've just done a couple of times there, but I know this garden really well for flying in. And it's a precise little flyer as well, you can do the loops. I've actually put these in for playing with the FPV races and things, but it goes through these no problem at all. Whoops! If I keep the throttle up it will work as well. Yeah. Whoops! Having says it does it, and then I can't do it. Oh, there we go. That's better. Now we've got a nicer flight through. That's good. So yes, operator error as usual on this channel. It's the only thing that lets us down, I think. There we go. So yeah, if that's produced nice footage, I'm quite impressed with it. And at the money, I think it's really good. Let's go ahead and have a look at the footage. See how we get on. You can either auto land or you can land it manually. It's entirely up to you. There we go. Yeah, nice. Always make sure you stop your video before you actually turn off the power and everything, otherwise you can corrupt your video. Okay, so what did I think of the 696? Well, it's definitely an upgrade on the 393 without a doubt, and with my ugly mod here, it's produced really nice footage, I think, for what it is. Flip it back over and you can see the difference with the two is basically you get this camera on your 393 and this camera and gimbal on the 696. Exactly the same anti-vibration setup, and that's why you still get the jello. The jello is generated mostly, I think, from the props that float slightly, and I explain it fully in the other video. But basically they do move a little bit. If you put extra washers in to pack it so they don't move, your motors won't turn around. So it's a trade-off of how they've done the design. It could have been better, but and they should get rid of this jello without a doubt. The upgrade is very good on the camera, I think. This one, you can only just tilt it up and down a wee bit, and there's nothing wrong with this camera. It works really well. I was quite pleased with it, actually. But this one, having a gimbal, is superb. Now, I wasn't expecting the gimbal to be that good, because it is really tiny, and these small things, when they get them coming out of the factories, they can be really glitchy. This one worked absolutely fine every single time. The nice thing about the gimbal is you can really tilt the camera at whatever angle you like, so you can actually point it down on the ground like I showed you, and if you're getting a little bit of props in shot when you pitch forward, you can just tilt the camera down a bit to get rid of it. So I show how to do the anti-vibration setup that I've done. I mean, that's a very big word for just the Wodger stuff stuffed in. You could do it much prettier, but it doesn't bother me. It's the result I'm after, and it doesn't alter the flying either. So, and it's easy to remove. So the sort of benefits, the way I like to do it anyway. The little lens hood that I made, just a little bit of foam rubber, a little bit of plastic wrapped around the top, however you want to do it. This is actually the mountain bike sort of foam that they put over the handlebars. You can buy it in long strips off eBay, and literally just keep cutting it until you get it so that you haven't got any in shot, and then that will get rid of any flicker that you're getting the light through the props hitting the lens, and they work. They're brilliant. The other way you could get rid of that is put a neutral density filter on, which would mean you could slow the shutter speed down, but that's only really for cameras that you can control the shutter speed. This will always change to try and keep the shutter speed up. And talking about the camera, it's automatic exposure and it's automatic white balance, so you can't change anything on it at all. But I thought, for what it was, did a really nice little job. The LEDs are awesome, and you'll see at the end what I thought of them. If you have got the original one and you want to go for something with a gimbal, and then you've got two complete quads to swap out bits and pieces, which I don't think is a bad idea. The batteries all fit each other exactly the same, so that's great. And you've got the same sort of 15-minute flight per battery, so that's good. You've still got the issues with the charger. It still takes 3 hours to charge, which is awful. And I've actually rigged up something so that I can charge mine with the hobby grade charger, but it's a real cobbled together thing. It's not best practice, I think would be the polite term for that. So at the end of the day, we've got a really nice camera bird, and without further ado, I hope you enjoy this end bit.